From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. The name of this video, I'm going to call it 60 Handles Later. The high of the day in the S&P came in at 1951.5 recently. The low came in at 1944.30 early in the day. And last, we're 1950.30. We're up 5.6 handles. Total volume is low. We had 210,000 minis traded in Globex. We have a total of 850,000 traded. And 2,500 big S&Ps traded in the pit. Now, I told you guys earlier in the summer that I thought that there'd be a day where we do 750,000 minis. Now, volatility picked up quite a bit, and we saw a big jump in volume over the last couple of weeks. But I suspect as we go into the end of August and into the holiday, things are going to get really, really thin. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Tomorrow we have the PPI number. We have the Empire State MFG survey. We have the Treasury International Capital number. We have industrial production. We have the consumer sentiment number. We have the e-commerce retail sales number. And then we have Narayana Kocherlakota, or whatever his name, speaking from the Fed. Now, the stats for tomorrow were exact as they were the same today. Up 17, down 13 of the last 30. On Monday, those stats get a little weaker. It's up 14, down 16 of the last 30. Now, we've run a lot of stops, you guys, and I suspected that we would. You know, I know everybody got all bearish, and the end of the world was coming, the Russians, ISIS, the whole bit. I mean, there couldn't have been more negatives a week ago. And then all of a sudden, the only thing that's left is the Russians marching along the Ukrainian border, which, my friends, is a very big problem. But that said, I think what happens here is after everybody gets bearish, all the option boys roll over, all the hedge funds start to sell S&Ps against their long positions. The first part of that short covering rally is getting some of those guys out. The retail jumps out. The guys that can't hold as long jump out. Then the institutions start to lift their hedges, and then the option boys start to roll higher after rolling lower. It's like a musical chairs game that never ends. But that said, I got a feeling that as we get up to this 1953, 1955 level, you got to be very careful. And the reason being is that those same sellers that were crying wolf last week are now covering and getting long into the rally. And I think once that happens, we're going to go back down a little. And the other part about this, I'm not real sure about after this week of going up, that tomorrow is going to be an up day. I think we can see a little bit of strength in the beginning of the day and then back down tomorrow. But either way, I think we're getting close. That said, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the opening print.